All right, I want to bring in Onur Erim. He's not only a good friend of the network, but he's also a political analyst, and he joins us now from Atatürk Airport. Onur, I know that you've been sort of listening into the president's speech. I don't know, but you had a chance to actually, this commercial, this advertorial, this public service announcement that we just played, which has just been released by the Turkish presidency. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but what was interesting is actually compared sort of what happened 3 years ago and events of the past. If you were able to watch it, I want to get your thoughts on it first, and then we'll continue our conversation from there.
I think President Erdogan made two statements that were outstanding. Number one, he called this attempt of coup that as one of a kind in the history of the world, and it was. Not only because the way it was trying to being implemented, but also by the way that people stood against it and actually won. So he said at the towards the end of his first half of his speech, he said, we will not forget this and we will make sure that it's not forgotten. And I agree with him 100%. And his second part of speech was the unification of Turkey as one, regardless of political, ethnic, religious backgrounds, that Turkey should be as one, at least in national matters. And I think that's a statement that really outstood, as he has been pointing this out, especially after the coup attempt of July 15, 2016.
Onur, you're a political analyst, so you put this into perspective. You said that President Erdogan says that we will not forget the 15th of July, 2016. We will not let it be forgotten. So what has Turkey learned?
I think, if nothing else, Turkey has learned that if you let people infiltrate into your system, into the system that's been going on for hundreds of years in Turkey, this is the redemption of it. And I think, remember, President Erdogan is the only one that asked after this FETO incident, the FETO terrorist groups, uprising, that he's the only one that apologized for everything he has done not to have prevented it. And I think this is setting a precedent to all political figures in Turkey, that this is something that everybody had a chip into over the last 30 or 40 years, yet he's the only one that faced this fact, and he is doing something about it. Do not forget, most of his opponents even has called President Erdogan fighting this fight alone for the longest time. And I think that's what he's trying to point out, that this is something beyond President Erdogan. This is something beyond AK Party. This has to do with the nation, and it should be treated as one.
Okay, how do you think that this attempted coup has sort of affected, altered, changed the political structure in this country?
I think everybody is going back to to basics, the basic ideals of the unification of the country, and I think that should be everybody's #1 concern when it comes to Turkish politics. Now, don't forget, in this last local elections, President Erdogan has talked about the security of Turkey, and he's been much criticized about this. Today and in the last 3 years, we can see how important this is. You know, some might say, what does this have to do with even local elections? But it has to do with everything. It has to do with our schools, school system. It has to do with our, security forces and the way they are educated. It has to do with A to Z, with everything, with our agriculture, with our security of water. So it's not just one thing. If you want to have secure borders in this country, if you want to have people living in prosperity and under the security of the Turkish government, everybody has to chip in. And I think his call, although maybe indirectly to mostly to his opponents, that at least when it comes to security, at least when it comes to unification, everybody should be as one, regardless of their political, ethnic, or religious backgrounds.
Onur, thank you for that.